Hello, everybody, for Friday Fun Day. This is like take 100 because we've had all kinds of troubles. But as I promised, we will do our dumb laws, dumb crooks, and we will do our document of the week passes. But first, we're going to do a little review and preview of some hippie stuff, hence the super groovy glasses. Those are sweet.
They're awful.
They're awful?
They're awful.
You want to take them off now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Kind of hard to see through. Super
Yes.
blue. Okay. Few hippie things we wanted to touch base with you. Now, Mrs. P grew up in the same era I did, from that generation. She is a child of baby boomers just like I am, but your parents weren't really hippies.
No, they
Your
weren't.
dad,
A
little.
little.
My family,
Definitely
Definitely hippies. So we're going to go over a few examples. First thing I will show you is, I told you there'd be some mainstream items that the hippie culture influenced. So one of them would be food. Very much whole foods, natural foods. And we'll get into these notes on Monday, but I gave you an idea that everybody was influenced by that. The best explanation I can give you of that is something that was absolutely a critical part of my childhood, with grape nuts. You've probably never had grape nuts because they're not great. Oddly, two things not in grape nuts.
Grapes.
Or nuts. So, this is essentially granola in a box. This little box could last you forever. My mom would love to just have a bag of this, and this was like a snack because it was wholesome, it was natural. It also has very little taste, and I just want you to hear this as it hits the bowl. It's like rocks. Okay, it's just like essentially grain in a powder form. So it's really not exciting, but hey, you know, when all your friends are eating Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes, and you're stuck with grape nuts, having a hippie mom isn't as awesome, but that's a small thing, food. And the other things too, natural, like, you know, you say non-organic chicken today. What that basically means is a chicken that was running around a little farm before it became chicken nuggets, which is better though than like hormone and steroid.
It's funny that all of that stuff is coming back around.
As that stuff often happens. Some photos. So I'm going to show you some ideas about like hairstyles. Now this is one of the oldest photos I could find. I was about a year old, and hard to see there, but you can see no haircut, pretty typical. My mom in the bell-bottom pants there. That's my aunt, who was like an older sister that I mentioned in the other in the lecture. But mom had super long hair down to her waist, very typical of the era. And then I don't know which one. It's the same.
Same, basically.
Yes. My mom didn't think I should have my hair cut until I was about, I don't know, 4. So this is me at, I think, 2 or 3.
Well, it says your 4th birthday on
Oh,
the back.
4th birthday. Okay, there you go. 2 things to notice. 1, no reason to have a haircut except maybe the bangs. That's a super groovy look. And you can see the gift. Why would you buy wrapping paper when you could just use comic strips? That's a combo of hippies and being broke. And then this is a picture, I think from age 3, if you'll notice,
Same outfit.
we were broke, so I was wearing the same outfit. That's fantastic. Just gives you an idea, though, the hairstyles that if you look at the young pictures of me at 4 and you at 4, we kind of creepily look alike.
My hair looked very much the same.
That's true. Tie-dye. A lot of you have seen tie-dyed stuff. I wore a tie-dyed shirt sort of like this home one day from college. It was like this, but it said BGSU. And I would tell you that tie-dye is very popular. This is my son's shirt from a place that he works at in the summer. But I'll tell you that this greatly offended my family members who, well, almost all of them were hippie influenced, because this is fake tie-dyed. This is factory produced tie-dyed. So when mine said BGSU, it said it like this company logo here, in that this is a mass-produced tie-dyed shirt. It's really a shirt made to look tie-dyed. And I got called all kinds of mean names, in playful jest, but basically by angry hippies, because true tie-dyed shirts, the true hippie ideal, would be that you would take a plain white shirt and you would mix it in this dye and you twist it to create these unique shapes. You could tell this is a fake tie-dyed shirt because it's almost too perfect. Real tie-dyed shirts don't stain like evenly and across and in a nice pattern,
A
unless
lot
you're
of, like,
really, really
people
good
do
at
those
it.
like at camps and like different groups and things
Yes.
like that. So
They might know, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, this is my favorite hippie example, and you might have seen it a little bit here on the table. It's an Irish tradition. I think a lot of families do this, where the mother makes their child a quilt sometime between when they're born and their first birthday. And they keep that quilt your whole life. So it's not just a baby quilt, it's a full-size quilt. What is this quilt, a double or a...
I think it's a full size or a double bed.
Full size or a double bed. So my mom did this for me as well. And I still have this quilt. So that means this quilt is at least 47 years old. And it's very much in the spirit of how hippies would want to do things. My grandmother offered to pay for the materials for the quilt. And I think she did for the what would you call it, the middle stuff.
Oh, the batting inside.
The batting, that's the word. But if you look at this quilt, my mom made this quilt from a bunch of old blue jeans. And I think that's really cool. The idea that, well, why would I buy material when I could make this? And these were a bunch of her old bell bottoms that she cut into this pattern and made this quilt that I used for 30 some odd years. I think the only reason we don't use it as much now is because
It's starting to fray.
it's starting to fray, it's starting to show its wear and tear, but I love this quilt. Mm-hmm. And it just makes me think nice thoughts of my mom, good memories of my mom. So there's some hippie stuff. That's a little bit, just a few examples that I've hung on to. And again, my mom wasn't a super hippie. She was just influenced by the hippies. All my uncles and aunts were influenced. And we'll talk a lot more about how probably the most common way most people were influenced was definitely the music. Mr. Bajali, who used to be our school principal, not a hippie at all, but even he loved hippie music. And whenever I talk to him about that, he goes nuts about Jimi Hendrix. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the dumb laws, dumb crooks, and then draw some passes. We have a lot of dumb laws this week. A lot of states. 3 states, because there are not as many from each state. So, Rhode Island, any marriage where one of the people is a lunatic is null and void. No one may bite off another person's leg.
Good rule.
It's illegal to have unopened beer or open beer in your car ever. Which, that's fine. I don't really care, but it seems like how would you
transport it from the grocery store to home?
Seems to be the problem. South Dakota, it's illegal to fall asleep in a cheese factory. That's the only one I got. It must be a big problem in South Dakota. South Carolina, it's illegal for a man to promise to marry a girl and then back out.
What if he finds out she's crazy? And he's stuck? I guess
I
they
am.
investigate ahead of time.
You didn't catch that.
I did.
It's illegal to get a tattoo. So I guess my entire back would be, yeah.
That would have been a good thing to know. We should have been living in South Carolina.
Then I wouldn't have the Constitution tattooed on my...
Yeah.
Rude. It's illegal to keep a horse in a bathtub. This one's not funny. It's illegal to beat your wife on the courthouse steps on Sundays.
Every other day is okay?
Yeah, this is from an era when, unfortunately, spousal abuse, this is really, a lot of these are old laws. These are probably from the 1800s, and that's pretty gross. It's illegal to not bring a rifle to church on Sunday. That goes back to colonial times when it was required to bring a rifle because Native Americans might attack you while you're in church, and you had to be able to fight your way out. These other 2 are more modern, but they may sound funny. In Charleston, South Carolina, the fire department may blow up your house in order to prevent fire from spreading.
Yeah.
There's actually a logical reason for that. If you live in a city and the houses are all real close together, maybe you guys, your neighbors might be real close to you, and fire is spreading down the street. What they'll do is they'll go down a certain number of houses and they'll destroy that house, maybe 2 houses, so the fire can't spread. There's no more fuel. But man, does that stink if they say,
You're the winner.
You're the winner. That is correct. And finally, in Greenville, South Carolina, the drinking age on campus, so there must be a college there, is 60. Is 60 years old. Yep. Okay, dumb crook. Yes, reader.
Yes, reader. All right. So, a young woman in Lake City, Florida, was arrested for attempting to hold up a Howard Johnson's motel with a chainsaw.
Very frightening. Chainsaws, I'd hand them over whatever money they wanted.
Fortunately for the clerk, the chainsaw was electric and it wasn't plugged in.
A lot of times I think, I don't want to make judgments, but I'm going to guess that illegal drugs are often a direct correlation to the dumb.
Drugs are very powerful things.
Yes. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, your document of the week passes. So we've got one from every class we're going to draw. I'm going to remind you that for each period, I have some drawn. If you weren't paying attention to these other Friday Fun Day videos, some of you already have document of the week passes. So for first period, who we're drawing for first, Tristan already has a 10 out of 10. Let me know when you want to use it. Destiny has a 10 out of 10. And
this one will go to...
Must be our third Friday Fun Day.
Yeah.
Ben did it with me last week.
This one is for...
I want to see if you can pronounce his name. It's great.
Hamaria?
Exmaria.
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 Okay. My kids with X's, it's an H sound. So.
Nope, it's Exmaria. So,
okay.
Good for her.
Cool.
I call her one of my new kids.
Oh.
She's been in there probably 4 months, but new. Good job. So,
okay.
Exmaria, I'll get your name down. You have a 10 out of 10 when you want to use that. Okay, third period.
Third period.
Much heftier.
Well, yeah,
pile of tickets.
A lot of kids in here.
In third period already, Zoe, Ryan, Kathleen, Sophia, Deja have all won. Our newest winner to add to the list? Now, that's partially my handwriting.
Yeah. I want to say Sinai.
That is spot on. Sinai, you have won, so I'll add
really
you
cool
to
name.
the list. Like all of my kids, she's a really cool kid.
Good. All right.
Fourth period. Not as many tickets to draw from.
There's really not. I'm so sorry. What are they doing wrong?
Just not doing a whole.
Oh.
But some are.
Okay. Well, if you are, keep.
Tyler already has one. James has one. And then our newest is...
Desmond.
Ooh, got to say Desmond's last initial because there's two Desmonds.
Oh, the suspense. Desmond J.
Desmond J. That is correct. Okay, very good, Desmond J. I will make sure your name goes on this list. You have a 10 out of 10 pass. So this is sixth period. Not tons of tickets in this one either. Previous past winners who still have a 10 out of 10, just let me know. Savannah and Jasmine. And then our newest today,
Talea.
very good. Talea, you have a 10 out of 10 pass. Has it been all girls today?
I'm not sure. No, Desmond wouldn't be.
Oh, Desmond. Yeah, Desmond won. Sorry.
I would be surprised if Desmond was a girl's name.
Desmond's,
I don't judge because
that is correct. But
whatever.
Desmond's a dude. Okay. Seventh period. Our previous winners are James and Amari. And our newest winner will be, for seventh period, you are just killing the names today.
My goodness, another unusual but beautiful name. Jaisha?
So close. Try that first vowel again.
Zasia?
Zayasia.
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 Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. Zayasia.
It's a beautiful name.
I'm sure I screwed it up worse the first time. So I will add you to the list. You have a 10 out of 10. So very good. Everybody, we will talk about on Monday documents of the week, the assignments for that week. Remember, fourth quarter is more traditional. And we will keep talking about hippies and share more of that hippie culture that really sort of seeped into American culture. All right, everybody, have a great weekend and be safe. And again, the camera's too far away.